Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon Tapper. I am the Executive Director of the Music Managers Forum US. We are an organization that was founded in 1993, so this is our 30th year anniversary. And we are the leading trade association for artist managers and self-managed artists in the US. We endeavor to serve the needs of our community through a few different ways. Education through webinars such as today's, in-person summits. We also do networking opportunities. We also do a lot of advocacy. So we provide a collective voice to lobby and affect policy change to provide everyone with a fairer and more transparent industry. We have summits that take place in different cities. We are registered non-for-profit. We hope you're members. That really helps us keep this programming going throughout the year. And if you want to stay informed of our events, of which there are many, both in this setting and then nationwide in person, just simply go to @MMF-US.com and you'll be updating everything we do. We are also part of the IMMF, which is the International Music Managers Forum. That enables us to have global connectivity with 65 MMFs around the world. That connects us with people in Europe, Latin America, Asia, Australia, and Africa. So we are connected globally and we work with those folks a lot. Last week we were talking with the lovely folks in Iceland, the newest of the MMFs that exist. So we're here for a really important reason. There's a lot of anxiety surrounding AI on many levels. This is very much about how you can use AI to help you as a tool. So Ariel and I did this in a live setting in Electric Bowery during New York Music Month. It was so well attended and so popular. We're like, we need to share this nationwide. So here we are in the setting. We're so happy you're here. Ariel and I have been friends for many, many years. We won't embarrass each other by saying how long. She is the founder of CyberPR, a Brooklyn-based social media PR firm. She has written books, talked at seminars around the world. She is so knowledgeable on this, and I knew that there was nobody better to present this to our community and help us navigate this truly confusing subject. So, Ariel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sharon, and thanks to everyone from the MMF. Really, really excited. Like Sharon said, we presented this together at Make Music Month in New York, and it was so fun to do that, and it was so well attended, like Sharon said. So I'm going to share my screen right now and present. Hopefully everyone can see this. Sharon, if you can give me a thumbs up that you can see this. We should be ready to go. Okay, great. So as you know, today we are talking about AI and how you can use it for music marketing. What this is not going to be about is the dark side. I am ever the optimist around technology. And because I am who I am, I see the world through a lens of marketing and publicity. So that is the context for today. So for those of you who might be feeling a lot of unease around the other parts of AI in music, that is not what this session is for. So I want to kick off. I always love to kick off with sort of what are they saying about the world? And this is a quote that's been kicking around for a couple months now. Sundar Pichai, who is Google's CEO, said this: AI is one of the most important things humanity is working on. It is more profound than electricity or fire. And when I saw that, I thought, you know, this is deep. And I think when someone who's a tech giant like this stands up and says something this profound, we should all take note. This is another quote I found. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. So this is sort of how I look at how we can all see AI, something to help us with our efficiency. So why can I sleep at night? Like I said, I am seeing AI through a very different lens than many content creators and musicians and artists and are seeing it right now, which is how can we use this thing to help save us time? How can we use this to save us brain power? How can we use this to take the torture away? And a newsletter that I sign up for, and a lot of experts at the Jasper AI Music Marketing Summit, which I attended a few weeks ago, all sort of started saying this, which is we all start to want to think about how to beat AI. And the Neuron summed it up like this: there will be a strong demand for anti-AI content. And where people will begin to shine is with their personality, with their insights, and with their authority. Google is, of course, going to and has recently announced that they're going to reward high original and high quality content. So there's going to be a tsunami actually of low value fluff, which I'm going to talk about a lot, and sort of garbage that's going to happen on the internet. But I loved these 3 bullet points that the Neuron summarized in how to beat AI. And I want to set us up for this. Put your name and face out there. Bullet point number 1. Publish authentic opinions and narratives. And I think one beautiful thing that all musicians have an opportunity to publish, aside from, of course, incredible music, is narratives. And then the third part, which is a part where I've operated in the music industry for years, which is helping artists and managers and labels and colleagues deliver significant value to their target markets. And that's where AI can be deeply helpful. So what does this mean for you and for your artists? I don't advise ignoring AI, and I believe that the fastest path to understanding it and using it to your benefit is to begin to use it and keep up with the trends as they're developing. So my sort of reaction to these 3 bullets of put your name and face out there is because AI cannot replicate a human with creative ideas. Number 2, publish authentic opinions and narratives. We all will always crave shared experiences. That is the experience of music, and that's amazing. So the idea here is music is the cornerstone of shared experiences, and therefore we've got an opportunity with our artists. And then number 3, deliver significant value to your target market. Musicians who have mastered this are the ones who have always been winning. And these are the ones who are going to continue winning. And they're going to stay safe in the world of AI. So I love this. So in this session, I've created a best of for you based on my 5-part AI music marketing course. And I'll get into many, many different aspects of how and what that covers. But basically, it's about how to use large language models, prompt crafting, social media, artwork, video. I talk a lot about imagery. Then I'll swing into some cool bonus tools you can use and some resources. So the music industry can use AI music marketing tools for a host of things: social media posts, building email campaigns, formatting documents, album art, rebrands, logos, video creation, video editing, TikTok scripting, YouTube titles, SEO improvement, and the part I like the best, as your unpaid intern / virtual assistant. ChatGPT is actually that powerful For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ariel Hyatt. I am the founder of CyberPR. I have spent the last 27 years plus in service to musicians. I have run my PR firm for that long. I have always felt like my clients are the canaries in the coal mine because I work on the super, super indie side of the world. A majority of my clients do not have managers. They do not have a label. They have themselves. I have, as Sharon said, authored 6 books on marketing, promotions, and crowdfunding and publicity in the music industry. I am an international speaker and have developed and taught courses all over the world. Teaching is actually my biggest passion, and trying to help artists unpack and understand the confusing world of marketing and PR is obviously where I focus. I am a born and raised New York City girl. I survived a Gossip Girl style New York City private high school in the 80s. I have one 19-year-old cat and one 3-year-old human son, and a huge vintage lunchbox collection. So that's a few little tidbits about me. Let's dive into using AI, which many of you know, ChatGPT, but there's also Bard, which is Google's solution, and one that I love called Jasper, which helps keep us on the rails when it comes to marketing and copywriting. There are many, many integrations of these technologies already happening into many, many things that you use every single day. So you may not even be aware of it, but AI is touching your life pretty much every time you touch your phone or an app or go online. So the secret behind being really masterful when it comes to using AI and using large language models, and for this session, I'm really going to rely heavily and talk mostly about using ChatGPT, and then at the end I'll have a ton of other things, but it's all centered on prompts. So in order to get compelling and helpful results, you are going to need how to understand and craft prompts. Now, the thing that's very interesting and cool about prompts is we are going at lightning speed with how developments have happened, and prompt crafting is getting easier and easier every single week. Every time I open ChatGPT, they're giving users tools so that prompt crafting, which several months ago you had to be quite great at understanding prompts, it's getting easier and easier. And now regular conversations with ChatGPT almost circumvents having to have a huge mastery of prompt crafting. So how do you give effective prompts? Interestingly, I asked ChatGPT how to do that. And a few months ago, it gave me 5 pointers: be clear and concise, use specific relevant keywords, be specific about what you're looking for, and avoid ambiguous language. I asked it yesterday again because I was curious, how far have we come with ChatGPT? And I got 10 responses, some the same, some different. Still, we've got provide context, but it added the following things. Ask open-ended questions. If you want detailed or informative responses, don't just ask yes or no questions. Specify your format, such as, do you want a list? Do you want a summary? Do you want a detailed explanation? Do you want to have a conversation with me? Use polite language. So it's funny, ChatGPT, because it's like a natural language model, it doesn't like snarky or irritated users. It begins to kind of react the way you react, which is weird, but it's the way it is. Experiment and iterate. So don't be afraid to say things different ways, phrase things different ways. This is very important. Consider your length, test for comprehension, and of course, be patient. So I thought that was fascinating. Next, how do you train ChatGPT? Well, not only using all of those ways, but you actually must teach ChatGPT. So recently, they've come up with a little thought starter boxes, and it asks you, how would you like ChatGPT? What should we know about you in order to provide better responses? And it actually gives you 1,500 whole words. So if you are asking your artist to do this, or if you're doing this as a manager, it would behoove you to create a full 1,500 word explanation of what you'd like ChatGPT to know about you. And also ask it how you want it to respond to you. So I said, I like casual responses. My style, aside from being approachable, is humorous and sarcastic and funny. And hilariously, after I asked ChatGPT to respond to me like this, I get these kind of funny, humorous, and snarky responses. Today, it told me it was going to bring this one up to 11 while it was sending me responses. So little things like that. And I asked also if ChatGPT could please remain neutral and provide responses that are only based on facts and research. That would be my preference. I don't want it to make up statistics or things about the music industry. I want to really know what it's saying. I want facts. Okay, so something that you may have heard about large language models. AI is great for many reasons. Again, it can help us overcome writer's block, provide SEO, help us with social posts. I'm going to get into that. And it feels amazing at first when you begin using large language models. And I'm going to keep just say ChatGPT from now on, but you can substitute that if you're like a Bard user. But I have noticed, especially with some of my artists that hire assistants that work abroad, is they're beginning to give me a lot of garbage. So you want to be careful to never, ever really use any of this quickly. You want it to be thoughtful, and otherwise you're going to get a tsunami of garbage. So how can we use this? Since the promise of this masterclass is action, I'm going to take you through some actual demos of how my agency uses ChatGPT and other large language models. We also use Jasper on how to generate some quick and down and dirty things that you can help and teach your artists. So this first demo is a playlist feature. One of my clients, Lauren Waller, was featured on Electropop Party, which is a Spotify playlist. So I asked ChatGPT, please write 3 versions of a post for Instagram saying thank you to this playlist. And I wrote the name and I gave the tag. And immediately I got 3 responses that showed, the thank yous, the emoji, and the hashtags. And they were all pretty good. I could copy and paste these, and my artist could use these pretty much without editing too drastically on her social media. I then, in another instance, had a wonderful review that I got from one of my clients. Her name is Kaylin. And I put the whole review through ChatGPT, and I asked it to please write 3 different social posts that quote the best part of the EP review that I got on this music blog. Again, add hashtags and tag them. Then I copied and pasted the entire review that I received, and I got these 3 wonderful Instagram posts. I then sent them to my artist and said, hey, if you feel like using these, go ahead and post any of these. Easy, quick, down and dirty blog review content. The next thing we did is we fed the Earmilk thread the same request, and we said, can you please give us 10 posts for Twitter? Of course, now you can use it for threads or for your text message list, and it spit back 10 really nice tweets. And what I loved about this is if you use a scheduler for scheduling your X posts, it's not called Twitter anymore. If you're still using it, you can do it like that, or you can put these on your notes in your phone. And when you're doing threads or text messages, if you've got a text messaging list on behalf of your clients, this is a great way to bring the little reviews back up to the forefront. The next thing I did was I asked it to do it again, but please write me a reel for IG thanking the blogger. and it actually gave me a post like, this is how you could thank Ear Milk, which is quite a large blog. It might be nice to make a personalized a video to send as a thank you. How can you use it for releasing music? So I went back through my clients' releases and I found a release that came out last year. And here's what we did. I asked it to, first and foremost, make me 7 social media posts asking our fans to pre-save our newest track. I gave the date it was coming out. I gave the emoji because it was called One Last Kiss. So I wanted the kiss emoji. So if you have like some sort of branding with emojis with your artist, you can ask it for that specifically. And then I also gave a description of what the chat is about. So I talked about what the single was about and what I kind of wanted to see. And I got 7 different posts, immediately spit back, different ways of asking for a pre-save, which is really fun because if you've got artists who are exhausted from social media and they don't quite know how to say the same thing over and over, ChatGPT is great at mixing up content. I then asked it to write me 5 social media posts announcing the track again with a descriptor, countdown to release day. And it gave me a 3-week, a 2-week, a 1-week, a 5-day, and the day of release. And of course, you could ask it for any kind of combination of countdown posts. Then the track came out, the premiere went live. We had them on a lovely blog called the Indie Source. And again, I wrote to ChatGPT, can you please write a thank you post to this music blog, also announcing its release day and come stream the song. So it did that, which is great. And the amount of time that it took me to create all of those posts with those specific prompts was 11 minutes after we began to really understand how to ask and what to ask for. I then asked my team, hey guys, and my team basically does social media all day long. People hire us to manage their social channels. He said, how long would it take you to have created 29 posts? And I gave all the examples of the different types of posts. And they said somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. This would have taken a social media manager who does this all day long. So there you go, 3 hours down to 11 minutes. Of course, again, you will have to zhuzh, edit, and slightly tweak what you see. But I think the power of this alone is pretty cool. So other ways that you can use ChatGPT is to help you generate ideas. Now, what do I mean by that? I thought of my own branding and how could I use it for me? And I fed it my bio and asked it to turn my bio into some social media posts. So I would say 9 out of 10 of you, at least on this call as managers, your artists have artist bios that are posted on their website or being used somewhere in a press kit, EPK, materials prepared for your publicity or radio teams. Try feeding the bio through, and you can ask ChatGPT, please act as if you were a storyteller and take the reader of these posts on a journey. Please write the posts in the first person, include some emoji, and please keep the posts short and sweet. That's what I asked. And I then copy and pasted my whole bio, and it created some really lovely posts that I can now use to take people behind the scenes about who I am. And you can do this with your artists. I then thought about some artwork ideas. And I lined up, like, I've been invited to speak at conferences. I could use a photo of me speaking at a conference, or my agency does these certain things. I could use a screenshot of the software that runs my agency that I developed, or we could do a carousel of my team with all these posts. So I began to just get really excited about the type of content that I could pair with a bio dump. Now let's shift over and talk a little bit about artwork and how you can use some artwork tools. So you can use AI tools for single or album artwork, for social media assets, like graphics that accompany the posts that we've just gone through, for headshots, for creating fun avatars, designs for merch, animation, short form video, personalized videos, thanking fans for stuff, GIFs, video edits, and of course you can turn reviews into video content. So I just showed you how to turn reviews into social media posts. There's actually a tool that turns reviews into fun videos. What are AI art generators? They're simply tools that use algorithms to create visual artwork. The artwork that you're seeing here was actually created by Aileen, who works with me and who co-presents my AI music marketing course. And because our tone is like hot pink and fun colors, she used she kind of used the brand, and neon is also our brand. Might not be yours. You can always generate the way you want. So there are hundreds of AI art generators, and there are new ones popping up literally every day. Here's just a few that you may have heard of: Crayon, Blue Willow, Lexica, DALL-E 2, Deep AI, Midjourney. Some use text to image, and those two that I recommend are Midjourney and DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is developed by ChatGPT. Midjourney is available on a Discord server. Midjourney is one of our top app recommendations for AI artwork because it creates super realistic and beautiful, high quality creative images. And they've got new versions launching constantly. Midjourney is accessed through a Discord server. So if you are not familiar with using Discord, I would say maybe start with DALL-E 2, just because it can be a little overwhelming to learn two things in one. Structuring prompts is a huge, huge part of how to get success. Just like with ChatGPT and getting social posts, you want to learn how to structure prompts for getting best art results. Interestingly, there are plugins in ChatGPT which will actually help you to create better art prompts. And I'll talk about plugins when we get to the next section. So the prompt for the visual that you're seeing here was written by us. It's a cityscape of New York City as an oil painting that is in neon in the style of George Seurat. And this is what came back. You can, of course, ask for theme, medium, or style, your color palette, your mood, your reference images. You could even use other artists, musicians, aside, not only visual artists, to see what kind of references pop up. Five tips for getting great artwork. Be specific and use adjectives with your prompts. Your word order could make a difference, so switching words back and forth might help you. Add one modifier at a time. Don't go crazy and start adding tons and tons and tons when trying to generate artwork. Test out your prompts, include details, and choose the highest resolution possible for output if you're, of course, going to use any imagery. On to video. What AI video tools exist? Again, there are so many. There's text to video, there's editing tools, there's link to videos, there's short and long form animation visualizers. All of those are in the toolbox for AI video tools. And of course, more and more coming at the speed of light. I'm going to talk about a couple that we recommend. The first one is Kyber. Linkin Park used Kyber, and they used it for their Lost music video for Meteora, their 20th anniversary, and it was absolutely beautiful. So with Kyber, you can get started by creating videos almost instantly, and they can be 1 second or they can be up to 4 minutes in length. One tool that we absolutely fell madly in love with is a tool called video.ai. It is an actual video editing tool. You can upload your longer video, and this tool will automatically generate edits in several social media friendly formats. So it will spit out a reel, it'll spit out a TikTok, it can spit out a YouTube short, it can spit out like a clip for LinkedIn or Facebook. It's unbelievable and can cut down any video that you have, including your artist's music videos. So all that stress of like, we've got these older videos, or we have like videos that we've recorded years ago, you can put them through video.ai and reinvigorate your artist's social channels with them. We love this as a tool. Pictory is easy to get started on. It allows you to easily, like I said, take a review of your music, a blog post, or an existing script, and it will turn it into an actual video in minutes. It's really fun to see what it comes up with. And then there's Lumen 5. It has a really clean interface, and it's also quick to get started. You can choose from templates, or you can record your own voiceovers, add your music, upload your own videos, and also, of course, create your own color palette that fits with your artist. So we created a video out of Kaylin's Ear Milk review using Lumen 5 by just pasting the URL into the platform, and it was really cool to see what came out. We chose our length and our format, and sort of they have templates you can play with. Now let's get into some press shots and avatars. I showed an avatar of me looking very Stevie Nicks earlier in this slideshow. It can be really fun for your clients who have a playful side. A couple of tools you can use to create and edit photos for headshots are Lensa and Portrait.ai. Lensa is an app that you may have seen. It kind of broke the internet several months ago. There were people posting like different AI versions of themselves, but it also allows you to correct photos, edit photos, or create, obviously, these magical avatars in a variety of styles, but you can also just use it for color correction, which is great. Here's Aileen. She put herself through Lensa and got all these different styles of her, just as an example. And then here's some Portrait.ai's. She looks like a Wonder Woman or a superhero or an action hero. Again, this might not be on brand for all of your clients, but it can be a very fun way for, you know, making social posts or coming up with silly things to post if you've got artists that don't necessarily make thousands of photo shoots all the time. One of my biggest sticking points as an advocate for artists, as someone who writes marketing plans, is the resistance to email and how hard it is to get your artists to keep up with their email marketing, build their email lists, use their lists really efficiently and effectively. And I am so excited about ChatGPT and its knowledge of email marketing. It's totally amazing. And because it's trained on countless email marketing, not only blogs and posts about it, but also on actual emails, which that's another whole story, whether or not that's got a lot of integrity in it. You can use it for the following: strategy planning, content ideas, segmentation, A/B testing, analytics, drip campaigns, automation, compliance, calls to action, list growth, welcome series. And one thing that my team and I put it to the test with, which I want to share with you, is squeeze page authoring. So I know a lot of artists just put on their homepage or on their website, join my newsletter or join my email list, which is not a very sexy way to get anyone to want to part with an email. So here's what we did. We have a lovely artist that we work with. His name is Jason Vitelli. And I asked ChatGPT, write me a call to action for a squeeze page to enter your name and email address in the fields below and get a CD of Jason's critically acclaimed first release, no photographs. Here is the artist bio, and I pasted it below and asked for 5 examples of calls to action. So it gave me 5 calls to action, which were pretty good, but they didn't quite hit the mark. So I then found a beautiful quote. I went back and Googled some past reviews for the album, and I found a quote that I loved. And I asked ChatGPT to incorporate this really cool quote, which we got from No Depression. And here is what the finished product looks like. This is actually on Jason's website right now. From Brooklyn to your doorstep, having graced historic New York listening rooms and jazz combos, Jason Vitelli's No Photographs is a testament to his unparalleled artistry. Then we've got our quote from No Depression. We've got a call to action, receive your free album by entering your details. And I put parenthetically, and you'll be signed up to my email list. And there it is, living on Jason's website. This was so fun to do because it took hours away of work. I gave Jason multiple different ways that he could share this. He chose this way, and it was a really fun little collab with ChatGPT. Here are some cool AI tools I would love to share. The first one is an AI-powered hashtag generator for your artists that stress about how many hashtags to use and mixing them up and using them the right way. We love HashMe. HashMe is free. The actual, you can pay for it as well, but if you just go to the App Store and look for it, we love it. And the free version is fine and will give you plenty. The next one is an actual website builder called TunePipe. This was founded by a musician. His name is John Ojaka. Many of you may have run into him over the years. He runs Music Marketing Manifesto, and he's a genius. This is a website builder that helps you create SEO-friendly web pages. It's got email capture pages. It's got sales funnels. It's got email drip campaigns. I love Bandzoogle. I love HostBaby, which is now Bandzoogle, but I have found that TunePipe is 10 times more powerful because it's got ChatGPT built into it. So it really helps prompt the website build and the funnel builds. Here's what it looks like. It's got those call to actions, and it helps you actually craft them right on the web pages. Plus, John is one of the nicest guys in the industry, and he does customer support personally, which is incredible. Next tool that I love, and I've been seeing more and more experts using this. I'm actually considering moving my own email list over to this. It's called Beehive. It's an artificial intelligence tool specifically designed for newsletter operators. If you have musicians that you're representing, they should be newsletter operators. It is really slick. It's got a lot of building tools, and it also has an AI built in that helps create the content. AI text tools also help with autocorrect, auto-completion, tone changes, text regeneration, and it's pretty amazing. So Beehive AI. Next tool we love is called Uncrop. If you have ever been trying to make like a banner out of a small image of one of your bands, or you're trying to stretch something, this tool expands the background of any photo. It's amazing. So if you're helping your artists like build web pages or banners across the top of things, Uncrop can be totally amazing. And this is just the most recent tool in a suite that they've created. It's a suite called ClipDrop. For animated drawings, we thought this was fun. This was actually a children's drawing concept that comes from from Meta, and that's Facebook, of course. Bring drawings to life. It's a tool that animates your drawings in 4 easy steps. I thought if anyone has an artist that like does doodles in the van or does their own artwork, this could be really, really a fun and cool way if you've got any clients that doodle or draw things, or if you've got an artist on the team that makes animated images for your brand or even drawn logos. It might be really, really fun to animate for socials. here are some AI tools that we lean on to help our artists describe their music. The first one is Cyanite.ai. This analyzes music based on multiple factors: mood, BPM, genre, key, energy. It's very, very easy. You just upload the track and it has a recommendation engine that searches for distinct sonic factors in your music, in your client's music, to provide personalized song recommendations. So not only will it give you like instrument tags, which you can use when you're making, say, your Spotify submission to the playlist, it also helps think of music in the same mood and BPM and genre and key. So if your artists are building playlists with their own music in it, Cyanite is amazing. You may or may not know, we probably know, Spotify has built their entire ecosystem on sound-alikes and similarities. And of course, it's all built on AI. There's no way it could listen to all of that. So one of the oldest tools has been in our midst for a very, very long time. And one thing that can be very, very helpful for artists that are stressed about how they can develop a voice, a brand, or even what to do on social is showing them to look at fans also like and related artists. It's very obvious, but it might not be very obvious to artists. So it's funny, wait, I had one more to share. There it is, Museo. SoundCloud now owns Museo. Hazel Savage is a genius, and I've interviewed her for my newest podcast series, which is, of course, all about AI and marketing. But they've got two tools that are super helpful. One is Museo Tag, and that is a bit like Cyanite. It gives you actual tags. So it will say confident or dancey or bold. It will put tags to things. Again, can be incredibly useful for artists that struggle with describing their music, especially when it comes to submitting to Spotify playlisters or just writing about it. And then you can also search music with music. So oftentimes, especially as publicists, we're often asked, like, who do I sound like? Who do I get compared to? What should we write about? Like if I'm trying to get a sound alike, it actually curates sound alike music and big lists of it. So it searches music with music, and it's amazing. And I've many, many times asked my artists to spend a little bit of time with Museo Search, and they've come back with so many fresh ideas just because they've managed to put themselves in the wheelhouse with other artists, which is something I know most musicians struggle very deeply with. Okay, so here are some resources that you can use to stay informed about latest in AI news and developments. If you're not subscribed to Sherry, who's Water and Music, I deeply recommend her. She's a genius among us. There is AI Music Marketing alum. There is Shelley Palmer, Future Tools Weekly, and the Neuron, which I just talked about earlier. There's also some tool aggregators that are amazing. There's an AI for that, and futuretools.io. I often find myself listening to Hard Fork. That's the New York Times podcast. It's about not only AI, but a lot of Web3 developments. And the gentlemen that host it are really fun and upbeat and sarcastic and very easy to listen to. And they boil things down very, very simply. So they make what feels overwhelming really simply. Plus they gossip about things that are happening. And then, of course, please listen to the CyberPR Music Podcast. I am knee deep in my new season. It is all about AI music marketing. I have a download for you if you're just getting started with ChatGPT and you're unsure about what kind of prompts you can feed it. I curated a list of 100 plus prompts. If you just go to bit.ly/AI prompts, it will take you to a page and you can play around with the 100 plus prompts that I've created, just having a bit of fun. They're designed specifically for musicians and really getting your feet wet with social media posting ideas. I'm going to wrap this up with a quote from my co-host in my CyberPR music marketing AI course. AI, brilliant genius Aileen said, "We'll say AI in more conversations in 2023 than in all previous years in history." And I think if you've been attending conferences and or tuning into what's going on, this rings incredibly true. And here's another one that Seth Godin is such a mentor to so many of us in the world of marketing. The more we automate, the more we need people who think critically and creatively. And I love that because as managers, we are the critical thinkers and the creative thinkers in so many areas where our artists don't quite understand how to creatively and critically think. So, ready for some Q&A. I'd love to take questions. If you would like to find me, I'm on LinkedIn at Ariel Hyatt. I'm everywhere else at CyberPR and CyberPR Music if you'd like my blog posts and different pieces of content and podcast information.
We have a lot of questions.
I bet we do.
I'm going to start. Michelle Roche. How many of these apps or websites are free? Can you mention costs? And obviously ChatGPT is free, but what about some of the others that you've mentioned here?
Every single thing I just shared is free.
Awesome.
TunePipe has a free 2-week trial. Beehive has a free 2-week trial. So none of these are going to ask you to put a credit card in to try them. That was one thing when Aileen and I were building our 5-part course. We were so irritated that like, in order to even test this, you have to put a credit card in. And we were like, no, thank you. So yes, everything I just shared is totally free because it's really annoying to enter your credit card. And then Jasper is not free. It's free for 14 days, but if you don't cancel, they definitely hit your credit card. I learned that the hard way.
Okay. I'm gonna just quickly go through the Q&A. Suzanne Yada, can you tell us more about seasoning and training AI?
I can. So really the best way to train AI is to use it. I think a lot of times, especially with really busy, the busy lives that we lead supporting an exhausting music industry, is many of my colleagues tend to be armchair viewers and not roll your sleeves up and get in the action types, especially if we're older and busy. My number one suggestion to anyone who's like curious, don't get caught up in the training or the prompts. Just open ChatGPT multiple times a week. Shelley Palmer recommended once a day for 60 minutes a day to really begin to get to know it. And it trains with you. And then the more you talk to it, the more it will begin to understand who you are. And it actually begins to recommend the things that you're looking for.
Great. We have another question. When we get, who owns artwork generated by AI?
So this is the Supreme Court question that's recently going up the court rungs. Who owns it right now? The answer is no one. It's, again, this is where like, as arbiters and protectors of the creative intellectual property for artists, this is where I think a lot of us will have like a head explosion moment, and it can be a reason not to use AI generated artwork. As we know, it's been trained on just artwork that's all over the internet, and there are already lawsuits deeply in place with people that we all know and love who are suing the pants off of some of these apps because the actual watermark has shown up in some of the artwork results. Whoops. But the answer currently is you own it if you've generated it. And there are now comes the question of like disclosure. I think best practice is to disclose like this is an AI generated image, as opposed to like just using it without some sort of reference. But right now, basically you made it on AI, therefore you own it.
I think that kind of touches on the questions that Ben Duncan and Kelly had. Kelly and Ben, if you want to push beyond that, let us know. But I think that kind of summarized what you were asking. If anybody else wants to, excellent. Anybody else with any questions, just feel free to let us know. And if you come up with things after the fact, please reach out to Ariel, and we are looking forward to editing this and making it look lovely, and it will appear on our YouTube channel. Oh, we have one more question.
And I did also want to just say, you are welcome to take my 5-part course. I made a little link here. If you just even want to point your phone at this QR code, it will take you to a page with information about it. And until the last day of summer, I am offering a $97 bonus. If you want to learn music PR with me, I throw that in. So I hope you will join me in the course. For anyone that's interested in a much deeper dive around these deep things that I talked about, I'd love to have you in it.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for being here. We are thrilled that you're here and part of this. Again, this will be on our YouTube channel. All of our recent webinars are there for people to access at their leisure. And feel free, follow us at MMF-US, and that will link you through to all of our social media platforms and take you to our YouTube. So thank you all for being here. Hope you have a lovely day. And please remember, we are back next week with how to create an artist incubator. So if you could tune in for that, we look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, this is a wrap. Thank you so much.